everybody. You love it, but the plants don't. They don't love it at all.
After 20, 25 plus days of really, really warm, dry, very dry weather. Yep, we got a frost warning tonight. So I had preemptively put a lot of plants into the ground, warm weather plants into the ground over the last 7, 10 days, thinking, yay, the weather was going to be kind because I could have to go back to Kentucky at any minute. So I've been trying to get stuff done. I thought the weather was going my way for a reason to help me out. And then cold weather. So I am busy trying to prepare my plants for a couple cold nights. A 41 night, 35 night. We do have a frost advisory for the 35 night. And all of the seedlings I started for my plant starts for selling, for giving away, donating, they're in my garage right now. And they will be in my garage another night. Yep. So this video is going to end up eventually being about where in the world did I plant all of my starts, my tomato, pepper, and eggplant starts for 2026. But first, we've got a couple nights to get through, and I've got to prepare.
First line of strategy is to make sure we water our plants really well going into some cold weather, a cold night. Look at that gorgeous columbine, right? And all my plants are coming alive. This is going to be so hard on them. So here we are over in my whiskey barrel area. That's Tasmanian chocolate in that back container. And I'm just watering well everything. I have put so much into containers, so many plants into the ground. I did cover those peppers. You see the 3 black containers the night before when we got down to like low 40s ish. I just sprayed my broccoli leaves with BT, so I'm trying not to get those wet. There is a Tasmanian chocolate tucked behind them as well. And yeah, I'm just trying to cover. These overturned containers work great. Hopefully these guys can make it through the night. I even have some squash seeds by the strawberries on the right there under the baskets. Now these are pull big. There's 4, they're dwarf plants. I did not cover them the night we got down to like 42, and to me they look rough. This little guy I did cover. It's a dwarf eggplant. It just makes little tiny round eggplants. Now this guy, this is Red Pride. He is looking so huge. He has put on so much growth in just like 1 week since I put him in the ground. But here we go. Here's some more plants. You can see I'm using overturned containers or cups. Definitely save your containers after you buy stuff at the nursery. It works so great for when you get those unexpected frost. Some volunteer, I believe those are going to be Marconi peppers, golden, and I want to save those little seedlings. They overwintered themselves and then sprouted. There is a pepper in that container there, overturned. And then I've got 2 peppers, 2 small little, I think they're shishitas in those other containers. Now, I have planted out most of this side here on the left. The right, I haven't done anything yet. Back in the raised bed area, I did put some cherry tomatoes in that center raised bed. I'm not even going to cover those because they weren't doing too well anyway. I may replant. I've got all the radishes going nuts over there, but there is 1 plant back in that back container as well I need to cover. So these guys are looking great. And you're like, Heather, what in the crap do you got going on? There's like 5,000 things growing in there. Well, I am worried to death about root knot nematode. So yeah, I've got mustard growing, marigolds growing. But look at this container. It has been just blowing my mind this past week. It is just gorgeous. So now we're farther down the driveway in this little secret garden area. It's not very secret right now because I need some plants to start growing and give me some privacy. But I've got overwintering poblanos right there, little baby seedling volunteers, whatever you want to call them. They just kind of popped up on their own, so I'm going to let them grow. I'm not going to protect them though. I will protect the spider flower, and these are volunteer wax pepper, hot wax peppers. So I'm going to cover those as well. I'm just going to grab this cardboard that's just kind of lying around and cover them just for tonight with that since we've got a freeze warning. Unfortunately, I did not remove my gourds from Halloween, so I've got volunteers everywhere. So last night was low 40s. Thankfully, I had put every one of these guys into the garage last night, and they're out here getting their full sun. They will go back in tonight, probably around 6:37. But they can be out here. It's like 60 right now. They can get this nice, beautiful full sun, and it's very tempered right now. It feels really nice. I'm sure they're very happy after being in the garage. all night. I do really regret I did not cover these guys last night. They do not look happy. Have no more of that variety. I planted them all out in a haze of just rushing, trying to get everything in the ground. I didn't know this would happen, and I should have. Why didn't I know it would happen, right? Taking care of the front and all my plants in the garage, it's time to get out here. Definitely want to cover this guy tonight. He's pretty tall though, this pepper. Collards are fine. I think all this, oh, I did cover these guys last night, look. It was a quick covering. And I even used that scoop to cover a pepper. This one's not covered very well, so I'll definitely cover those peppers. And I did cover here some buckets. I had to pull out my seed windows, cover several cups on my green stalks. I'm actually thinking about throwing sheets on these two tonight. These two green stalks. Now the one in the back there with strawberries, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. And you can see I covered here. I'm just going to leave them on today. I'm not going to take them off, put them back on. They're just staying on. It's a lot of work to try to cover up plants. And these are so tall, I couldn't think of anything quickly last night to cover. Now last night was only like, low 40s. Tonight though, it's a potential for a freeze. So I got to get more aggressive than what I came up with last night. Look at that. Yeah. So even though I've already packed away all my frost blankets and coverings and organized them in my storage deck box, I'm going to have to pull them back out. And that is the price you pay when you put things out early, right? These peppers definitely have to get covered. They're so little, I can just flip up an empty container though. So let me see what else. Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. And I thought I was ahead of the game. And now I have to scramble. Yeah. Got some parsnips planted here. We'll do a garden tour eventually. But I've got all these beans growing. This was my bean experiment. And they're actually doing pretty well, or they were. And they have had some cold nights prior to now. Like about 3 weeks ago, they had 2 or 3 nights when I was in Kentucky. I think one night it might have got down to 29, 30. We'll see. We will see. Oh, there's more tomatoes here I got to cover. I didn't cover those last night. Yeah. So, water. Frost protection. It looks like I attempted to cover these guys last night though. There is a tomato there and a few over in here. They don't look too happy either. Yeah, they don't look too happy. Here's another look at these lovely containers with my garden phlox. I think they are just gorgeous, both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and water my onions, even though I've been keeping them pretty moist. There's another volunteer, probably gourd, that's what it is, but yeah, everywhere, all over the property. Amazingly, I think I see some carrots down in there germinating. It's pretty cool. I did put the seeds down before I put the straw. I just didn't know if they would be able to work through that thick. This is garden straw, or I think it's kind of like easy straw, but it was higher priced at the garden center, but I needed it the day I bought it, so I just went ahead and paid it. But it kind of mats together with some kind of tack. And here we are back at the cherry tomato bed that is quickly overcome with radish seedlings that, I don't know, not sure how much longer they have. Maybe another couple weeks, week or two. The cherry tomatoes in this bed are not looking happy anyway, so I may just replace them with fresh seedlings. And there's a couple tomatoes over here I need to cover too, in that container in the far back. I forgot that I just sprayed these broccoli seedlings with BT last night, and then I sprayed them, so I may have to repeat. I always have trouble in this area with, I actually think it's slugs, but I went ahead and sprayed with BT just to be safe. What do y'all think? BT or slug? I've already been putting down slug control for like a month. But this looks more like slug to me than cabbage looper. I can't stand slugs. Yeah, I just can't stand them. I need some kind of slug trap plant. I'm not sure what that is yet though. Carrots that were sown a long time ago in the winter, late winter, doing good. And I'm trying not to make this a garden tour, but you know, it's kind of turning into that. But mostly I want this to be a video about getting ready for an unexpected freeze after your last frost date. Remember that it's just an anticipated estimate of when your last frost date will be. Mine was back around April 5th, and now it's April 20th or 21st. And I put some seeds here yesterday too. Cucumber. Keep that moist while they're germinating. Columbine is just beautiful. That is a volunteer columbine that just put itself there. And now we're back over by the beans. I did put some cucumber seeds down, and I did cover last night because I thought this was one germinating. Yeah, I think it is. I'll keep covered. Well, let me water it first. I think that's a beet there to the left and right that I planted in the late fall. They're just now germinating. Oh, I think I see another one down there. Darn it. Oh well. They'll just have to deal with the cold. The wind is picking up, and that is going to make covering everything a little more tricky. And I have to get some clamps to go with my sheets. Be nice if it was just cold but no wind. And my phone's beeping here. I gotta check it. Alrighty, everything's pretty well drenched over here. That will definitely help support the roots during a cold night. This guy might need some water. Got to get some kind of covering. Now, blueberries, any kind of fruiting berry that is already far along in its development, like those young berries right there, they could get damaged tonight if we get a true frost, which we're going to be pretty close. If it was more of a bud or an unopened flower, it would be a better bet than any fruit that is pretty far along in developing. Like these are pretty far along. They just need to get a little plumper and bluer. Yeah, so these could get damaged if we get a true frost. Fingers crossed we get down like 35, 36 and no lower. Things are okay, right? That's the hope. There's a ton of blueberries on here too. In reality, I never get to eat these. The squirrels, the birds, everyone else gets them before me. I'm lucky to get a handful each year. Now, I haven't even looked at my raspberries, but I do see a lot of fruit. So, yeah, they could get damaged too. Let's have a peek at the blackberries real quick. You see my winter rye is still going strong. We love it. I'm hopeful it doesn't die off, but I mean, it is an annual, so it may. Have to watch where I walk. Because Tonto, he does not use the bathroom in one spot. It's everywhere. Columbine, so beautiful, so elegant. Okay, let's see. Let me see. There's pollen everywhere on the leaves for sure. There are some flowers up here. They're pretty young, pretty young. I don't really have to worry about these guys too much. Yeah, I don't have to worry about them too much, but how pretty. Look at the flower. Just gorgeous. Okay, so we won't worry about the blackberries. We'll just worry about the blueberries and the raspberries. And some of the varieties are not as far as long. Like there's not even any fruit over here on this one. It's just that variety up there, and they're all mixed up at this point. I don't know what variety is which. I have like maybe at least 2 or 3 different raspberry varieties in here. One negative about the winter rye is that the seeds went everywhere, and it was a bad time of year. It was the right time of year to sow them, but it was also fall with leaves falling and leaf blowing happening, and seeds are everywhere in every flower bed. So I literally grab handfuls and then I will take a little shovel and I'll go replant them somewhere in my yard. I just haven't made it over here yet. Yeah, it's kind of ugly right now, but I'm trying to overlook it. And we've been talking about a lot of different columbines. This is a native, beautiful, gorgeous columbine. It's about done blooming for the season, but it was gorgeous last week, and it's getting really big, really big. Look at all the beautiful pollen in the bird bath. I did cover one little eggplant in that white container last night, and this is why I love to keep all these extra pots around, even though it drives my husband nuts. This is the reason right here. But before I get a sheet out for this green stock, I wanted to show you this lovely, lovely, lovely flower. So pretty and delicate. This is just a miniature rose you get at the grocery, and I like to, after they have a good run in the house, harden them off and then put them into the green stock. I have another one on the other side. It's not blooming. I forgot what color. I think it's like a raspberry swirl, but yeah, love doing that. I mean, you can do that with a small pot too. You don't have to have a green stock. Oh, there's a poor little pepper. We definitely need to put a sheet over here tonight. My bare root strawberries took to the planting despite the squirrels digging them up and me replanting them. They're looking pretty good. And I wanted to say, after tonight, we could get some more damage on the strawberry fruits, just like the blueberries and the raspberries. So this one, ugly, has some damage, coat damage. This one, pretty so far. Might get damaged tonight, I don't know. But after tonight, I will, yeah, starting tomorrow, I will pick off the ones that are black and give energy to the ones that are going to be okay. Probably go ahead and fertilize again after tonight too. I was watering here and this big old guy comes crawling out of the soil. What in the heck? He looks familiar. I don't want to get close. I think he's a good guy. He's a good guy, but he would probably bite me and it would probably hurt. I'll put on the screen what he is. I can't remember right at the second, but I am getting these guys watered. That basil there in the green cup is covered. And I got to get all these guys watered. Look at the strawberries over there. And covered. So let's go look at my camellias here in a second too. Half-hearted attempt last night covering. Definitely need something better for this guy. He's really tall. This is Glacier tomato. There's a brown sugar tomato under here. I'm going to water him really good after I turn off the video. And these guys will probably ride out the night okay like this, but something for Glacier. I mean, Glacier is supposed to be bred for the code. And I don't really even like it that much, I don't think. It's kind of mealy, kind of mushy. Just going to water him well and see what he does. See if he's actually got some cold tolerance built into him. Now these other two, though, they need to be protected. These guys do not. And my poor, poor hydrangea. We'll talk about it again, but when we got those cold nights when I was gone, lots of damage to flower buds. I have already cleaned it up after that. I already cut off a lot. We will be lucky to get just a few flowers this year. I do see one. He may get damaged though if we get down near freezing or at freezing tonight. Yep. It's okay though. We got a lot of new growth that'll bloom next year. We just might not have a lot of pretty flowers this year. By the time I get around to doing a garden tour, this phlox probably will not be blooming. It is my favorite phlox, woodland phlox. This is like a white gray color. It is so gorgeous. The hummingbird moths absolutely love it. Now, it doesn't look pretty because of all of the pollen everywhere, and I've been coughing my head off for probably a week. But when the pollen is not there, it is gorgeous and it is stunning and it is easy to propagate. So you'll see it tucked everywhere. And I think I will go ahead and propagate it again this year so I have more and more and more. There's a lot of new growth right here. You just pop it out. Got the hose off to the camellias. I'm going to water one at a time on a nice slow drip kind of pace, get them well watered. They had the worst winter ever. You can see these two look like they're dead. They actually have some growth at the bottom. I do have to do some major cutting back, but it was a rough winter. That is putting it mildly for these guys. Some survived. Barely, just barely. But we're going to water them good. Well, there's some more of that phlox. And while we're doing that, well, I got to unorganize my frost fabrics. Right, Tonto? I know, I just put these away the other day. Just put them away just the other day. Oh well. That's what it's like when you try to cheat. Honestly, I wasn't cheating, was I? I mean, our last frost date has already passed. Thought I was okay. But, you know, people say don't plant until after Mother's Day. But I really wanted some tomatoes early, and I really wanted to get everything done so I could just hop in the car and get to Kentucky as soon as I needed to get there. Well, here we go, my organized system. I'm going to take everything out and go cover all my plants. These two little fig cuttings that survived winter and started to grow, they will get covered tonight too. This guy might have got a little damage last night, it looks like. Maybe a little bit. I'm going to tuck this around his base, and then this huge sheet, it's like a California king size. We're just going to cover everything in this section. Keep them nice and toasty tonight. I decided I'm going to go get some clippers. I want to clip this rose and take it inside first because it'll get all smushed and damaged. I almost forgot about my Mexican petunia cuttings. We do not want to do that. I've been keeping these alive since the end of October in my house, in water. Potted them up a few weeks ago. They're ready to be planted, but I almost forgot they need to go in the garage tonight. That could have been disastrous. Probably another hour or so while I'm cooking dinner, I'll come out here a few trays at a time. Get these guys tucked in. And please, 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 Jesus, let this be the last time. It was much worse last year, though. As far as going in and out of the garage, it looks like a circus tent, but I got quite a few plants and green stalks, not the strawberry one, covered and hopefully protected for tonight. I'm gonna get out front with some more blankets and frost covers and protect those other tomato and pepper plants. But Tonto and I will see you again in the next video. Wish us luck, and I hope you're having great weather wherever you may be. Bye, guys.